Stage. Qualified for the Grand Slam by virtue of getting to this final, but he's up against a formidable opponent in Gary Anderson. Obviously he beat him in the group stage, but this is a totally different scenario.
Make no mistake, Mensur Suljovic's path to this moment in his life is a fairy tale. He was quite literally a refugee from the former Yugoslavia, moved to Austria, set himself up there, started playing darts with his brother just in local pub tournaments, and it turns out he was pretty good. But only over the last 3 to 4 years has he really started to realise his potential. Came over to the PDC, committed himself, played week in, week out in these cathedrals of darts that are the Barnsley Metrodome and the Robin Park Tennis Centre in Wigan, and he got better and better and better, and this is his second big TV final. He wasn't ready by his own admission when he played Michael van Gerwen in the final of the European Championship last year. Is he ready this weekend?
Well, you hit the nail on the head there for me, Dan. That was the turning point for me, playing regularly and competitively most weekends on the Pro Tour. He generally played most of the European tournaments, didn't he? But rarely did we see him over these shores. He's reaping the benefits now with darts like this.
140. 140 from Mensur. First down to a finish.
99. Mensur require 103.
Touch and go, who takes this opening leg.
Yeah, always important as well, isn't it, to get a good start. Can still do it despite that slip. Double 19. Ooh.
65. Gary requires 76.
16 for double top.
56. Mensur requires 38.
Both players missed one dart with their last dart in hand, but
it has to be 10 double 14, doesn't it?
I would think so. Yeah, his favourite. He's missed it a couple of times. But normally, just below.
32. Gary requires 20.
2 darts missed at the double that bears his name, the Mensur. And he's punished. Gary Anderson, the man who was 6-0 down to Mensur Suljovic in his opening game of the tournament, he's made a better start in the final.
And both players a little bit dodgy on the double in the first leg. I suppose you can excuse that with the prize that's on offer.
Well, Mensur Suljovic, persistence has been key to his career so far.
70.
Important last dart there, saves that visit. He has made a number of PDC finals. As I say, only won 1 title, but before he made his first final, he made 11 semis and kept getting knocked out. Some of them in big tournaments like the Grand Prix. He just kept hitting that barrier, but he kept plugging away, and now he's made a whole load of finals. And maybe this is just what he needs. It's just a matter of time, because Mensur is continuing to make progress.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Mensur has raised his darts IQ.
100.
Always a guarantee of getting on telly if you compliment the cameraman.
Doesn't want to be too far behind Mensur. We saw what Gary Anderson did to Phil Taylor, 8 legs on the spin from 2-0 down.
99.
Well,
he has to believe, doesn't he? He has to believe.
Well, you say the word believe, Alan. I have never spoken to a professional dart player before he's about to play in a major final, and when asked the question, do you believe you can win, the answer is no. But Mensur Suljovic,
and it was very quick as well, wasn't it? He didn't think about it too long.
He was absolutely convinced he can't win it. Nonsense. He's already beaten this man once, thrashed him this weekend.
98.
Well, 4 quality players. Anderson, Wright, Chisnell and Barney. Incredible weekend.
79.
All good for the game.
44.
I'm sure he's got a few more fans now.
Ah, the old Motown shot, 4 tops. Good enough for Gary Anderson to make it 2-0.
Yeah, Gary will just steadily go about his business. He knows he'll be the favourite.
44.
Can he add another massive title to his already wonderful
60.
list he's accomplished over the last few years?
Well, yeah, 2 world titles, 2 Premier League titles, a Players' Championship finals victory as well. And if he does add this Champions League of Darts title to it, fully half of those big TV titles of the PDC, he will have survived match darts at some point in the tournament before going on and winning. Sometimes you need a bit of luck, but you then have to make the most of it. And Gary Anderson has been superb at doing exactly that.
Well, that's right. Any tournament any player's played in,
79.
either won it or got to the later stages. There's always been moments in that tournament where you could have been beat, or somebody's had a dart to beat you. It's about taking your chance.
140.
Now, Alan, if there are any nerves, particularly for Mensur in this situation,
60.
how long does it take for those to just ease off and for him to just get into this rhythm of a game of darts?
Until he gets the first leg on the board. As soon as he's got that first leg on the board, he'll relax a little bit, not too much. Oh, it's not a bad setup there to give him the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, perfect setup shot for Mensur Suljovic to leave the double 6, and this may well be the first leg that Alan Warren, a little former world #1, says is so important to the Austrian.
Ooh, he's looking at the score, double threat. I don't blame him for doing that. Simple reason, if he'd have split the 3, whatever Gary hits here, he would have been coming back to the board with 3, which isn't easy for any player.
Anderson does leave a Shanghai finish. Now there's pressure, and he would go for the double 3, I assure you, if he misses inside. Unless he goes 2 double 2. No, he goes straight at the double 3 and pins it, and there is the first leg. Mensur Suljovic is in this final.
Well, both players hovering around 3rd gear at the moment, despite being in the 4th leg. Important for Mensur to get that first one on the board. The crowd this weekend's been fantastic. The singing all today, all last night.
100.
Hats off to the Cardiff crowd.
95.
Good second dart, flipped it over the top.
100.
Oh, we heard plenty of this when Wales had that incredible run
140.
in the football. But it's a Scotsman and an Austrian that are prompting it this evening here at the Motor Point. And they may well get louder if these two do turn it on.
Yep, they're here to enjoy themselves. The party atmosphere. Always you see at the darts. Double 6 for a 1-3-2.
120.
Mensur came into this with an average just shy of 100 for the tournament. He's a full 10 points below that at the minute, and Gary Anderson is taking advantage. 3-1 to the Flying Scotsman.
They just need a bit of drama. We've had plenty this weekend. Certainly had some today.
45.
Do it.
Well, the 6-leg deficit was too much for Phil Taylor to overturn in the end when he took on Gary Anderson in the semis. And look at this, Mensur's taking all the time in the world. Gary Anderson would be better off taking a Sudoku at the back there to do just to pass the time. He's going to have plenty of time.
He's still hitting the target as well. Have to move just underneath.
58.
Starting to not hit the big trebles. Both players just struggling a little bit, finding the range on the treble 20. That's better from Anderson. As soon as he gets one in the top half of that treble, you almost feel he's going to get at least another one in.
This is still an opportunity for Suljovic here. Needs to find one treble, two really apply some pressure. Well, it has to be one just to get to a finish. And he doesn't get it. You can see the frustration from the Austrian.
Well, if he doesn't win this leg, it has been an opportunity missed. It isn't over yet. Both players struggling to hit as many trebles as maybe they expect and we expect. Anderson's on a finish of 138. Suljovic should be on a better one after these.
47 left.
He's going in when it left his hand after the first dart.
What odds are you giving me single 19 here, Alan?
Well, had to be. The Mensur double is trouble for Anderson.
It's trouble for everyone when Mensur Suljovic leaves double 14. Anderson not happy, can't get in a rhythm. Mensur has battled back. He's been nowhere near the level we've seen all the way through this weekend, but he's throwing to go 4-3 up at the first break. And maybe Mensur Suljovic has just scrapped and battled through this first session, and maybe that's all he needed to do to settle down.
Both players have produced some high quality over the weekend. This is more of a grinding battle at the moment. Just try and take as many legs as possible when the game's in that low scoring phase.
.46 180s between these two for the weekend. We haven't seen one in this final as yet. I've seen a 171. But Mensur will not care if he goes in 4-3 up at the first break.
He was around 100 in front before that visit. That's a poor visit.
The Pope, Friar Tuck and a bloke in a Phil Taylor shirt. Of course, the Holy Trinity.
Only at the darts. They come here for a party. They have a party. How many sports can produce a party atmosphere and top-level sport all in the same arena?
Gary Anderson does not look like he's in a party mood just there.
123.
Good last one to leave a finish.
120.
Difficult one at 145, but Mensur first. Poke at the Shanghai. Trouble for tops.
Tops. One dart missed. It would have put Mensur Suljovic into the lead for the first time in this final. There is a chance that this is going for Anderson. He wants tops as well.
125.
Thought he was going to hit that there, but he just pulled it just at the last moment. Suljovic returns.
Mensur Suljovic goes into the first break, 4-3 up.
That journalist will be surprised with what he's done this week. Mensur Suljovic just said that he can't win this tournament. Well, Mensur, look at the scoreboard. Yes, you can.
Yep. Okay, game on. Let's go back to our commentary team, this time Alan and Vassos.
And we're back on throw. Anderson trailing 4-3 with the darts in this 8th leg. And they might have called him dangerous, but the bookies didn't fancy his chances. 40-1, the outsider of the 8, Mensur Suljovic, before a dart was thrown.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody had a little flutter on that one, because it certainly wasn't expected, but he's earned the right to be there. He's had a smile all weekend. He's going to have to change his name to the Smiling Assassin. He's been fantastic.
60.
And the crowd really have warmed to him.
He's got so much character though, hasn't he? He really has.
140.
And he's producing some high-level darts this weekend. And he looks comfortable, though. That's the important thing when you're, as a top professional, playing in front of the big TV cameras and the big crowds with a lot to play for. You've got to feel comfortable up there so you can produce your best
92.
darts.
Hasn't been intimidated at all. And that 160 checkout
97.
to win the semi-final will live long in the memory.
Well, we were at the studio right at the back, and everybody in the studio stood up and jumped up. Everybody in the crowd did the same thing. It was an
95.
incredible moment,
Gary
really, from this
180.
weekend, certainly from Mensur's point of view, and for the tournament as well. I'm sure everybody at home loved it.
60.
Misses 2 darts, a double 10. Gary Anderson just needs 1 treble. Mensur Suljovic to have a chance to break. 18 for tops for Suljovic, and 5-3.
It's on the 8th leg. Mensur Suljovic.
Well, he did exactly the same in leg 5, that 116 finish, with Gary Anderson ready to pounce. Gary missed double there on that occasion, and then he stepped in for the 118. He's so good at those finishes around 100.
And Barney was ready to pounce on a double when he took out that 160. He finishes when he needs to, absolutely clinically.
Yeah, he's showing
137.
plenty of composure and bottle, he really is.
Everyone's been talking about how Gary doesn't like playing against him because he's a slower player, but isn't Gary a little
100.
long in the tooth now to be affected by that?
You would think so. Gary, you can see that grimace on his face there, mad at himself despite hitting a maximum, because he knows he hasn't been that intense in the last 3 or 4 legs. He's trying to G himself up, get into the level that we're all used to.
He's lost 5 of the last 6 legs.
140.
Gary Anderson missing 8 doubles in the process, including 2 in the last leg to hold his throw.
Well, he's got a chance here.
100. Mensur require 161.
Suljovic doesn't take out the 161.
But it is an if, the way he's been finishing. Can't be done now.
May go for bull with the last one here. Yeah, these are 2 darts because they've hit a single 19 going for the treble. So was that dodgy area.
Double 12 and double 6 now for Gary Anderson. Needs it,
72.
misses it.
Mensur require 56.
It's the old familiar problem for the Flying Scotsman. And Mensur Suljovic can move 3 legs clear now.
Yeah, these are the big moments. Gary for the 2nd consecutive leg missed 2 darts at the double. Mensur has 2 at tops, 1 left for double 10. Important. Oh, he knows it as well. He knows it.
Turn leg is Gary to throw first. Game on. 59.
Well, Gary Anderson is 3 legs down here. He's throwing first in this 10th leg, and if he loses it, you have to say that Suljovic is the hot favourite.
41.
Favourite as things stand.
Well, he certainly is. Gary just hasn't got his consistent scoring boots on, as
99.
we've seen in his last 2 or 3 games. Obviously, that first match didn't get into the tournament, lost 10-3 to Suljovic, as we've mentioned quite a few times since we realised they're both playing each other in the final. He's just not got into that rhythm.
100.
Get that first dart in the treble regularly.
Well, he misses more doubles than most, Gary Anderson, but usually he can afford to because he scores so much more heavily than most. But it hasn't quite happened for him, not in this final. Of course, he'll think he's living on borrowed time anyway, having watched Peter Wright miss 8 match darts against him this afternoon.
Yeah, scoring the
46.
biggest part of Gary's armoury. Massive 180 scorer, as everybody knows, and that's one of his perfect markers.
140.
He'll be a bit happier with that one. When you've lost a few legs on the spin and missed darts at doubles to win some of them, it does play on your mind a little bit. So when you get to the double again, you're almost hoping it goes in instead of expecting it to go in.
Well, he won 8 in a row against Phil Taylor. He's lost 6 out of 7, but tops for Gary Anderson. Oh, he's missed another one. 5 since the break. He will be back. Suljovic seems to have gone on holiday in this leg. Finally hits a double 10. Finally wins the leg.
Yeah, he knows he's not playing his best. He knows there's still plenty of time to go. He won't panic yet. He just needs to get into that rhythm. And once he gets in that rhythm, very, very hard to beat. But when you're 2 legs behind, you do have that slight negative thought process there. It's harder to hit the double.
His partner Rachel, remember, expecting their second child any time now. He won his last tournament in Perth, Gary Anderson. And you just get the feeling that he might be
58.
about to peak for some of the big winter majors.
Well, he needs to jump all over this, doesn't he? Because Mensur just slightly lost his scoring power.
If he can break here, Gary Anderson, we're back on throw. He's looked as nervous in this last leg and a half, Mensur Suljovic, as he's looked all weekend.
Probably the first time since he's been favourite. He was
134.
6-3 ahead. Many people watching in the audience at that moment in time, because he was 3 legs clear and playing quite well. Gary struggling just a little bit.
Well, Gary's left himself 166, which is a little careless. So you can't take it out in 3 darts.
You can do it in 4.
130.
Missed big 6, but he's left double 18.
81.
Yeah, Mensur just lost his radar. That'll make Gary feel a whole lot better, not just winning the leg, breaking the throw and hitting the double with the first dart. It's so important for a player.
140.
Oh, he may have found his rhythm now. Oh, look at this from Mensur Suljovic, slowing things down. It's quite canny, it's quite crafty. Is it going to work?
Yeah, he's doing the slow-mo.
100.
It's not going to work. Emphatically not. Oh, that's unlucky, off the barrel and into the 1.
Unlucky with the last one, but you just feel that Gary has got his game back on track after 2 or 3 legs where he's lost his scoring a little bit and missed a couple of opportunities to take legs, put the pressure on himself, but it looks like he's got himself back in the groove.
95.
I think Gary could probably throw 9 or 12 darts in the time it takes Mensur to throw 3.
95.
Downstairs for the 19s, because he's on 306.
139. Gary Uruguay, 145.
Treble 15. For tops for a 145 to level this final.
125.
Not far away.
167.
He missed that very early on in the match, didn't he? But Mensur just
45.
not at the races in the last 5 or 10 minutes, and Gary's taking advantage. He's got his game back on track. 6 apiece.
Who's favourite now?
Well, you would have to say Gary.
100.
I mentioned Suljovic was 40-1 before a dart was thrown. Gary Anderson, the 9-2 second favourite,
97.
behind Michael van Gerwen.
It's better from Mensur. Can he fill it in?
100.
Oh, much better from Mensur.
100.
Anything you can do, says Gary Anderson.
Well, they've both decided to play darts. Oh, one on the floor. Not counted as thrown because he dropped it. Just composing himself again.
105.
Thinking 25 to leave himself 116 rather than 121.
Mensur require 116.
It's a useful visit from Anderson. This is to hold his throw for Suljovic. 116.
Took this out in leg 5, took that fabulous 118 out in leg 8, but not on this occasion.
56. Gary require 84.
Right then, treble 20 for double 12. 14 leaves the bullseye for Anderson to move ahead.
59. Mensur require 60.
Well, he was hoping for the treble 20, obviously, for his favourite double 12. Still had a punt at the ball, but couldn't quite hit it. Mensur really needs to get this.
Game shot the 30.
Yeah. He knows that's important.
Well, didn't against Gary to
Even
throw first. Game on.
The midway through this match, important moments.
81.
Moves ahead again. Mensur Suljovic. There'll be a brief interval at the end of this leg, and then we're to a finish. First to 11 to be crowned Champions League champion 2017 and win £100,000.
140.
50 grand on offer for the loser here this evening.
And the title, that's the important one. I know quite a few of the players in their interviews said check or trophy. They said check.
84.
It's their decision.
Well, the checks come with trophies. If you win a trophy, you get the check.
140.
If you get the check, you can buy a trophy.
140 remaining after 9 darts for Gary Anderson.
80. Gary require 140.
They're looking good for 7 apiece. They go for 2 tops here. Yeah.
100.
Son's okay, leaves himself at the top of the shop for 7 apiece at the break.
$45. Gary require 40.
So, tops for Anderson under not much pressure. Under no pressure, really. There's the double 10. There's the 7th leg for Gary Anderson.
Anything to lose, but he's close, and I think it's starting to show now. It's starting to think about the title.
Yeah, and of course, yeah, as you say, as well as that Players' Championship in April 2017, there was, of course, yesterday, Vassos, and that might mean that he's got the inspiration.
Suljovic with the darts at the start of this
140.
15th leg in the final. 7 apiece. The first to 11 will be crowned champion.
100.
Yes, we're getting closer. Who's your money on at home? Anderson has been here so many times before. Suljovic looking for his first major PDC TV title.
99.
He's had a fantastic weekend.
Weekend of his life.
100.
Certainly his darting life.
And he's certainly gained a few more fans as well as a few more banknotes. A bit more confidence as well.
Yeah, consider us all Mensur maniacs now. Mensur mania
138.
has gripped this city, has gripped this arena. Since he came out yesterday, and with a big grin on his face, he won 6 legs in a row against Gary Anderson. Who knew then that this would be the final? 6 darts if he needs them from 124.
He's just checking. Should go for treble 16. He knows what he wants. He's just making sure. Double 8.
108.
Well, that would have been a 12-dart leg. Having spent the entire break up on stage throwing darts.
57.
When he's practicing, he throws much quicker than he does during a match. Another go at double 8 for Suljovic to move ahead again.
There's no pressure on it, but you've got to get these really early, just to maybe help you a little bit more in the remainder of the match.
No score.
Well, that's unlucky. He will be returning, but it won't do his confidence any good.
No, 4 missed doubles, all of them at double 8.
61. Mensur requires 16.
5th time lucky.
Taking his time.
These look like nervy darts here.
8 score. Gary requires 128.
He's making a big mess of this one. Gary Anderson was so far behind. If he can hit treble 20 here, he will have a shot at the ball.
87.
Mensur with a head down there, feared the worst.
Well, and so he might, having missed 8 shots at double 8. Now the double 4, much better. Finally wraps up the leg, finally holds his throw, but Gary Anderson will have sensed the nerves. And that's what he's doing about them.
Yeah, he certainly will. He senses a little bit of nerves there for Mensur. Looking for his first title in this final. But Mensur still plugging away. 8-7 ahead. First to 11.
The Anderson fans find their voice. Well,
60.
We've had 4 breaks of throw, so we're back on throw. And is this another maximum for Gary Anderson? It is, you know, it's his 4th of the final, his 28th of the weekend. And it leaves him on a potential 11-dart leg.
Yeah, despite being behind, as Mensur's looking for his maximum, and he gets it. Anderson by hitting 2s on 61, so it looks like it could go to 8 apiece. Double 18.
Game shot on the 16th leg.
How about that? 11 darts. Thank you very much.
First. Game on.
That's better, Gary. Now then, the next couple of legs have to be crucial.
100.
Important last one. He's wondering where that one came from. Why didn't I do that before?
It's become the best of 5.
95.
All of a sudden.
Yeah, you can just feel a little bit of tension, can't you, in the auditorium. Mensur's taking his time. It's building the pressure.
It's a wild second dart.
125.
But a good recovery.
Yeah, he's got to keep trying to hold his throw and keep the pressure on the world number 2.
140.
Gary responding as well. This leg up for grabs.
If it does go to 10 apiece, then Mensur Suljovic will have the advantage of throwing first, having won the bull-up before this final.
140.
I wonder if the players sense how close they are now to the finishing line. I'm sure they do, because they both just increased the intensity on the scoring.
137.
Very good cover on the 19s. Suljovic with a first crack at a big checkout.
That's the first one.
Well, he won't be gutted not to have left double eight, having missed it 8 times 2 legs ago. Now this would be a lusty blow to land. Can't do it now.
Boy, mad at himself, Gary, there. He really fancied a chance at least the ball there. He really did.
Mensur 40.
Tops for Suljovic to move 9-8 ahead within 2 legs of the trophy. Takes a moment, puffs out his cheeks, takes aim at the top of the board. 2 10s, 2 5s, this is tension. That's brilliant.
Well, first 2 weren't that close. The pressure was on, but he responded well. He kept his composure.
60.
What a big dart. What a big dart. Huge pressure now on Gary Anderson to hold his throw. And he's only started with a 60. If Suljovic can break the Anderson throw here, he's 2 up with 3 to play and will be throwing first
60.
in the next leg.
Both
And
players
19.
only starting with 60 as well.
Where have the trebles gone? There's one of them.
It's okay when you're throwing first. If you're throwing second and trying to break, you need a little bit more.
44.
Another poor visit for Suljovic.
Well, if he'd started ton 40,
125.
Suljovic, Gary Anderson would be in all sorts of trouble, but once again, Anderson seems to have wriggled out of a tough situation. But back comes Mensur Suljovic.
You wonder, don't you, where that comes from? After 2 3 poor visits,
140.
and then you hit a maximum. What a crazy game.
Anderson hanging on. Will he need to take out that 80? It's a wild dart.
57. Gary require 80.
Just changed his mind at the last minute there.
Tops.
And he's gone for this as well. It's not a flyer.
Game's on the 18th.
Oh, nicely done, Gary.
19 legs, Mensur to throw first. Game.
Right, 9-all, race to 11.
Both players striving for that moment to win this title. We're getting closer.
140.
Good visit from both players. Whoever wins this leg will be 1 leg away from the title.
Gary Anderson's average is near on 100 now, but look at that from Suljovic.
100.
Not even 90.
Well, in the early part of the game, both players were averaging mid-80s. It did rise slightly, but Gary Anderson's gone, certainly in the last 7-8 legs, his scoring has been a lot better. It's those missed doubles that cost you the average scores. When you have, everybody has 1 or 2 darts, but when you're having 3, 4 or 5, makes a big dent in those statistics. Great last dart. Wonderful last dart.
Leaves himself on a finish, on the big finish. Adrian Lewis has taken out 170, but from a man who took out 160 to reach the final, this would be to move a leg away from the trophy. He can't do it, needed 2 treble 20s and the bullseye, but Gary Anderson on 178 can't finish.
72 left for Suljovic. Anderson should be on something decent here, and he will be after that first dart slip.
Mensur requires 72.
Tension, real tension here.
we'll find out a lot about his bottle right here. Pulled that one. Bullseye he needs. Mensur Suljovic for 10-9.
33.
Well, the first start was the problem there. Put him on the back foot. Had to go for the bull route. This is a big, big chance for Gary Anderson. Treble 18. He may go for two doubles here. No. Thought he might have done.
86.
Changed his mind.
39.
11 double 14. Does he go his favourite double? Or does he go 7 double 16? Bear in mind, he's just missed 8 darts at double 8.
Well, I'll keep away from there then.
So it is 11. And a small adjustment to double 14, his favourite double, and he loves it just a little bit more now, because that dart in the double 14 bed moves Mensur Suljovic to within one leg of the title.
One leg away for the Austrian. Mensa Mania will take over Cardiff. Gary starts the leg with a 140.
97.
Hanging in there. Will we have a last leg decider? Gary's hoping so.
140.
Back-to-back ton 40s. When he really needs them, Gary Anderson. It looks like we are going all the way, because Mensur's trebles have dried up in this leg. He's been here before, Gary Anderson. He's handled the pressure. He is, of course, a two-time world champion.
Well, if you wanted drama, we're going to get it. We really are. Well, a 180 will leave a finish.
How about that? Treble 17 would have left the bull.
41.
Ooh. Mistake from Anderson. 80's not a gimme. 164 can be done. It can't now. Just the setup needed.
18s will go forward this last
58.
dart. Full pressure, pressure, pressure on this 80 for Gary Anderson. So 20 and tops. He went for 2 double tops. He just got 1 dart
60.
at it and misses it. And how about this now? Mensur Suljovic, 106 points from the title.
The crowd are responding. He hit that magnificent 160. Probably the best finish of his life. If he can hit this one, it will be the biggest finish of his life, because it will be his first major TV PDC title. And the shot is on. 46.
His favourite double for the title, double 14. He's missed it. Oh, he's missed it. So Gary Anderson breathes again. 9 times he's had match dart against him this week. Double 5.
Oh, he's missed it. He's missed it.
No.
He can't believe it. Mensur can't believe it.
28.
He's looking for some inspiration from somewhere.
Oh, he takes a moment to compose himself, and why not? This is the moment of Mensur Suljovic's darting life.
If you ask Mensur Suljovic, if he was on 3 darts at a double to win a major title, what would it be, Vassos?
It would be double 14. He loves double 14. And that's what he needs. Stares at the red bit.
He's done it!
Hits it.
Mensur has done it!
Mensur Suljovic. Mensur Suljovic is the Champions League champion of 2017. Mensur shows his darting intelligence and the emotions that come with the biggest win of his life. He came as